Hey guys, what's going on? This is Pants R Dragon, and today we'll be doing a little video on the top 5 best junglers for patch 6.6. The last time I did this video was in patch 6.3, and there's been a lot of changes to the top junglers, to the runic echoes, and for reference, I did a video like this a month and a half ago, so certainly that video is a little bit outdated, just a little bit. And also, you're probably going to be a little surprised on who the number 1 jungler is, because it was actually a pretty big surprise to me as well. So this video is just going to be a little update on the tier list and seeing what the best junglers are, and also shout out to Pro Guides for sponsoring this video. Check out Pro Guides for all your ranked game needs. Also, there's going to be a little giveaway in the description below. You can also check that out as well if you want. Anyways, with all that being said, let's get started. Alright, so number 5 coming hot at you is gonna be your girl, Elise. So this champion is still pretty good. She's still definitely in my champion pool, and I still use her regularly, but she's a little bumped down in the tier list because I feel like there are better champions at the moment. Like, nothing really happened to her since the last tier list, but I'm starting to see less of her in solo queue. But I still think she's really good because she can solo Rift Herald, and I feel that is a very valuable strength. Like, maybe she might be higher in this tier list if people were abusing that more. Next up is going to be Udyr. So he got nerfs and then he got an indirect nerf. His nerfs were to his WNR, just reducing the numbers a little bit, and the indirect nerf is toning down the runic echoes by 3% on the movement speed. He was one of the champions who loved getting movement speed, and also swiftness was nerfed in 6.4. So they are little nerfs, but he's still a strong champion. I mean, he doesn't run as fast, but he scales great into the mid game and late game, and he can do all sorts of trick duty split pushing things. In the early game, he farms really well. The only problem is he can't exert a lot of pressure onto lanes, since he is all melee, but he will outscale most early game junglers. He is also still in my champion pool, but just like Elise, he is not being played as much as before. But I still think he's really good. It's just that people prefer early game junglers. You know, someone like Gragas. So with the nerfs to echoes and swiftness, he doesn't scale as well with movement speed like Udyr and Elise. He's just a tanky champion who likes to output a lot of CC. And the reason why a lot of junglers prefer him at the moment is because of his early game pressure and how well he scales into the mid game, since he can output a lot of damage and CC, while also being very tanky. Now personally, I do not like him, because he's very skill shot reliant and it's easy to fuck up with him. Like your ultimate, you always want to knock people into your team or like split up the enemy team. It can be a little hard to pull off, and I just don't want to deal with it, to be honest. I'd rather be consistent, but a lot of other people do prefer Gragas a lot, for the reasons I said about him. Next up, we have Nidalee. Fuck, I thought this bitch would be put down after this patch, but no, I was wrong. She didn't really change in the fact that she takes more damage in the early game, since she cannot root monsters anymore, but they actually compensated that with buffing her W's damage by 15 at rank 1. And now the thing is, her clears in the early game are a little bit faster, but she takes a little bit more damage. And after she's level 6, she doesn't really need the root anymore, because her clear speed is just really fast, and once she gets the runic echoes, it becomes phenomenal, and will stop taking a lot of damage from the jungle. Nidalee will hit level 16 before the other jungler, and he'll be like level 14 or 13 around there. And yeah, the thing is, she has really good ganks, really good clears, really good mobility, and decent poke. And her team fighting can be good if she lands a spear on a priority target. The only thing that is bad about her is she does fall off late game. As you'll see, her damage won't be as much as before, like in the early game and mid game. Anyways, having superb clear speed and really good early game pressure, she's like a must ban or pick right now. And finally at number 1, it's going to surprise me, it might surprise you, maybe not because it's the champion on my thumbnail, Kindred. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but basically people have been starting to use Devour on her, and her win rate spiked like crazy. So before, when she was released, I said Warrior was better, which was true at the time because Warrior gave armor penetration. But ever since season 6 when they changed it, it's not as effective on her, and apparently Devour is the better item on her, because of the synergy with her passive. Now she's really good because of her early game, good clears and good ganks, and she becomes more powerful as the game goes on with her passive stacking, so her mid game and late game are really good. also is definitely a really snowbally champion, since the more kills they get, the more damage they'll output. Also, the ability to mark Herald and Baron Nashor kind of emphasizes that snowballiness. Now, one thing I do not like is Starrett's gauge on Kindred, because Kindred has one of the lowest base ADs in the game, but maybe it's just a really OP item on AD carries like Callista and Kindred, you know, having AD ratios. Also a little uncomfortable of having Rune on second because it gives crit, and we only have 76 AD at the time, but I mean, this is what everyone's kind of building, so I guess it's pretty effective in a sense, but I feel like there's going to be a better build in the future. Alright, so next up, let's do some honorable mentions, and first up is going to be Rek'Sai. Still good, but I don't like playing her as much. Too many nerfs, but some people actually still like her, so she's still good in that sense. And then there's Graves, but he's more of a top laner, going that new Death Dance Phantom Dancer build, and also emphasizing on the Warlord's Bloodlust. And finally, a new champion in the honorable mentions, Echo. This champion has been getting a few buffs in the past patches, and I feel like he's soon to be a meta pick, especially with runic echoes and swiftness, and just going like an AP build in an early game, and then going tanky in a late game. Not sure if it's going to be the Glove or Sunfire, but at the moment, I'm not sure if he's going to be a meta pick or not, but I do think he's pretty good at the moment. And finally, for our last segment of this video, we'll be answering a few questions from you guys from my last jungle tier list video. Lee Everett, TWT asks, is Zac still a thing? Yeah, he's alright, but I feel there is just stronger junglers. Chuck2000 asks, what about Master Yi? So even though this comic was a month ago, and Master Yi just got recently nerfed, I'll say that he is really good in lower elo before, but now he's just like meh because he got nerfed this patch, and like, you could play something like a Mumu, which is 100 times better in lower elo. That champion will never get nerfed and will always stay consistent in lower elo. Now, this question was asked by me, but I think a lot of you guys are thinking of asking, is Kha'Zix good? And the answer is, yeah, I don't know, you gotta be like a Kha'Zix main. I don't think he's a meta champion, but I think he's a really good niche pick, and he's good in the right hands. Just look up Diamond 1 Kha'Zix. Like, I climbed to Challenger with just Kha'Zix in Season 5, and he is starting to climb again. So there is proof that he's good in the right hands. And he was buffed this patch, so yeah, he's pretty aight. And yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want a chance to be featured in a future video, make sure to comment below on what champion you want me to talk about in the next jungle tier list video. And if you did like this video, make sure to leave a like. And if you didn't like this video, make sure to subscribe. Anyways, I am Pansar Dragon, and I'll see you guys next time.
Going on?
Oh yeah, your name's Shen.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, it's Shin. Oh my god. Yeah, I would make people call me by like my Korean name, which is Jin Young, but Shin's just my last name and it's better.
Man, why can't we just call you like Edward or something?
Hello, my name is Edward and I'm an American. Like.